Hi everyone, it's Coach Nate here, and in this video I'm just going to be going over some nice simple stretches to do post-workout. Keep in mind you can also do these stretches pre-workout if you want, but the reason why I'm demonstrating these post-workout stretches is because it's one of the questions I get from my clients typically. Nate, what kind of stretches should I be doing post-workout? Now, before I go into those stretches, I just want to start off by saying this. The exercises I'm about to show right now, they're more of a template. So use them as a guide. Don't think it's a strict prescription. It doesn't mean that you have to do these stretches after every workout up in the morning. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's jump right into it. I like starting from all fours. Personally, I find it's a very nice position to start from. So from all fours, typically what I'm just going to do here, but from here, all I'm going to do is start by sitting in child's pose. I'm just going to sit back on my heels, and then my arms are going to start going in front of me. And what I'm doing is I'm actually pressing them down into the floor. So I'm sitting back into my heels. I'm trying to. Then I'm pressing my arms down into the mat, into the floor in front of me. So you're not just extending your hands in front of you. You're actually pressing down into the mat. If you press down into the mat, you're going to feel it around your shoulders as well too. So you open up shoulders, your upper back. So you're going to stay for about 30 seconds. Every third exhale, you can walk your fingers about 1 centimeter forward. You're still pressing your fingers down or your palms down into the floor. And from there, 3, 2, 1. If you want, you're going to slowly come back. I'm going to bring my arms back. So now everything, I should be on all fours again. Now what I'm going to do is push my hips up. So push my knees off the ground. Just going into my hamstrings and my calves. Lower back. So I'm in downward dog right now. So you feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings and my calves right now. And some people will walk the dog. If you want to walk your dog, please do so. So when you're walking your dog, you want to breathe into each transition. So if you need to walk, stretch your calves a little bit. I'm just going to stay here. And I'm going to come back down. I'm back into center. And then typically, what I like to do from here is I'm going to come into my hip flexion. So I'm just going to step forward. It doesn't matter which leg you start with, you're going to do this with both. So you're going to be coming into your hip flexors right now. And when you're doing this, very important. A lot of people typically don't focus on what's happening here. You want to make sure your hips are squared. So you don't want to have an arch. You don't want to be like this. And you don't want to be rounded. Tuck your hips, make sure your hips are squared. Your shoulder blades are sitting right on top of your hips. This foot is pressed into the floor. So see how I'm at a nice 90-degree angle right here? From there, you're going to keep this this leg pressed into the floor. My hips are going to stay squared. And all I'm going to do is start pushing forward. So I'm squared. I'm just going to try pulling my knee over my toes. Small little movement. But I can feel a nice stretch all the way. Now, some people do this. So if you do this, what's happening? Can you see that arch in there? I don't want that arch. So I'm not really getting too much of a stretching here. I'm actually avoiding things. So what am I going to do? I'm going to square my hips again. I'm going to start tucking my hips back in. So hips are tucked in. Woo. My glute is activated right now. My glute squeeze. So it's kind of like I'm stretching. By squeezing the glute, I'm pulling and putting a little bit more tension in the front. And that's exactly what we want. So drive this knee forward. Once again for about 30 seconds. And if you want more of a deeper stretch, raise your arm up. And then imagine you're pressing it into an imaginary wall. So I'm trying to press my hand in there. You can hear this in my voice. And it's going to come back down. I'm going to go into the other side right now. So same thing. Just going to make sure my hips are squared. Lunge forward. That's a very beautiful stretch. If you sit quite a lot, or you sometimes feel experience a little bit of lower back pain, or you have issues with your squats, that stretch is a beautiful stretch. Once again, press that foot into the floor. My left glute is squeezed right now. And I'm just inching forward just a little bit. And I'm just gonna start raising my arm up. Really get into and push into that imaginary wall. So push, and come back down. Excellent. So we come back on all fours. Another one that I like to do for my upper body is to stretch. I'm just gonna take one hand, I'm gonna thread it under, and then I'm gonna drop that shoulder to the floor. And I'm just taking a little bit of tension or stress off my shoulders. This is my stiffer side. I'm just going to switch right now. So I'm just rushing through this a little bit because this is more for you. I'm going to switch to the other side. So same thing, 30 seconds. Honestly, for stretches, if you don't mind holding them for 60 seconds, that would be fantastic. But 30 seconds minimum. And typically after that, you just roll your shoulders back and forth, wiggle it out. That's it. Move based on how you feel.